Hello everyone and welcome to Education Plus. In today's video, we are going to discuss dimensions of learning according to Marzano for the subject learning and teaching. If you are new to the channel, then this is the second video for this subject. We already have a previous video in which we covered the definition of learning and characteristics of learning. So let's get started in understanding what are the dimensions of learning. According to Marzano, dimensions of learning is a comprehensive model that uses what researchers and theorists know about learning to define the learning process. Their premise is that 5 types of thinking, that is, 5 dimensions of learning, are essential to successful learning. In simple words, dimensions of learning is a set of tools that makes learning more effective for students, and it makes learning more smooth. These 5 dimensions of learning are attitudes and perceptions, acquire and integrate knowledge, extend and refine knowledge, use knowledge meaningfully, and the last one, habits of mind. Okay, so let's see the first dimension of learning, that is attitudes and perception, in detail. Attitudes and perception. A key element of effective teaching is helping learners to establish positive attitudes and perception about the classroom and about learning, because these affect learners' abilities to learn. If learners find the classroom as an unsafe and disorderly place, their learning will be negatively affected. Also, learners' positive attitude about classroom tasks helps in learning. So if a student finds that a classroom is not well maintained, it is messy, it is not in a neat condition, or if the classroom does not make the student feel comfortable or safe, then learning is not at all going to be effective in such a classroom. Whereas if a classroom is very neat, very well maintained, and if the teacher can make the ambience of studying very comfortable for the student, okay, and if the student also feels very safe and relaxed in the classroom, then learning is going to be very effective in such classroom. So the second dimension of learning is acquire and integrate knowledge. Providing new knowledge by integrating the previous knowledge helps in learning. When learners are learning new information, they must be guided in relating the new knowledge to what they already know, organizing that information, and then making it part of their long-term memory. So the second dimension, in simple words, it means that if the students can relate a new topic or a new matter to what they already know, then it becomes a continuous chain of knowledge that they possess. Okay, it gets added to the pile of knowledge that they already have. So this makes learning more effective. So this is the second dimension. The third one, extend and refine knowledge. Learning does not stop with acquiring and integrating knowledge. Learners develop an in-depth understanding through the process of extending and refining their knowledge. Example, by making new distinctions, clearing up misconceptions, and reaching conclusions. Various reasoning processes like comparing, classifying, abstracting, reasoning, constructing support, analyzing errors, analyzing perspectives, etc. are used by learners to analyze for extending and refining their knowledge. So this third dimension, which is extend and refine knowledge, means that whatever a student can study from one particular topic is never going to be 100% complete. In simple words, perfection can never be attained in any topic that a student studies. Rather, there are many ways in which the level of knowledge that a student possesses can become stronger and stronger in any topic. So this is what the third dimension of learning is all about. The fourth one, use knowledge meaningfully. The most effective learning occurs when we use knowledge to perform meaningful tasks. So, making sure that learners have the opportunity to use knowledge meaningfully is one of the most important parts of planning a teaching activity. For this, reasoning process like decision making, problem solving, invention, experimental inquiry, investigation, systems analysis, etc. may be used. So when a student acquires knowledge in any particular topic, then if the student can also get an opportunity to know where that knowledge can be applied, then that makes learning more interesting and more effective for the student. So this is the fourth dimension in simple words. The last one, habits of mind. A learner becomes an effective learner by developing powerful habits of mind that enable him or her to think critically, do things creatively, and regulate her or his behavior. Habit of preserving, pushing the limits of own knowledge and abilities, generating, trusting, and maintaining own standards of evaluation enable in thinking creatively. Self-regulated thinking is enabled by the habits of monitoring own thinking, planning appropriately, identifying and using necessary resources, responding appropriately to feedback, and evaluating the effectiveness of own actions. The fifth dimension, habits of mind, in simple words can be put as: every student will have their own way of studying. They will have their own creativity. They will have their own routine. They will have their own comfort zones. They will have their own strengths and weaknesses. Working on them is the fifth dimension, which is one of the most important dimension out of all the five that we have studied. So these are the five dimensions of learning: attitudes and perceptions, acquire and integrate knowledge, extend and refine knowledge, use of knowledge meaningfully, and habits of mind. This completes our second video for the subject, learning and teaching. Thank you.